What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Sutton Def back here with another episode of 5 Minute MMA. So actually, before I get started, I just want to take the opportunity to thank everybody who subscribed and watches the Purple Rain podcast channel. You guys know we're still we're a growing channel. Appreciate all of you guys who have come out to the live streams where we talk about NFL football, things like that. And I appreciate all of you guys who are sitting here and taking time to watch this 5 Minute MMA video, whether you're into UFC, whether you're not into UFC. Thank you guys nonetheless. But anyways, let's get started with this 5 Minute MMA. So Conor McGregor versus Dustin Porier 3 is official. It is happening at UFC 264 on July 10th. Now that is going to be a huge fight, of course, because Conor McGregor's fighting again. But this is the trilogy fight. As you guys know, Dustin Porier, he beat Conor McGregor just a couple months back. I believe it was in January. Knocked him out pretty badly. And now they're about to have the trilogy fight. You guys know the first fight, Conor McGregor actually won that about 6 or 7 years ago. But this third fight is going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting because Conor, he always fights his best coming off of a loss. He's never had a losing streak. He's never been on a losing streak. He's never lost more than one fight at a time. So he's got that going for him. His motivation seems to always be a lot better when his back is up against the wall, you know. So we'll see how that fares for him in the third fight against Dustin Porier. Now in the second fight, we saw Conor McGregor come out and just not look quite like an MMA fighter, like a full mixed martial arts fighter. You can tell he's been training a lot of boxing. You saw that wide stance he kept taking against Dustin Porier, and Dustin Porier took advantage of it. He said, hey, listen, this is MMA. I'm not just going to trade hands with you. I'm going to use my feet too. So he started kicking him. He started leg kicking him very badly. Those leg kicks, they started to pile up on Conor McGregor. They started to pile up very, very quickly. And you saw that it started to affect the fight because he wasn't able to get his distance, his range down. And eventually Dustin Porier started countering him, hit him with a couple clean shots, and the rest was history. Dustin Porier won that fight. But in the third fight, we really hope to see a different approach from Conor. Basically seeing him not have such a wide stance and kind of stand a little bit more straight up, kind of like how he did when he first arrived into the UFC, when he first really burst onto the scene, and he was putting all of his tools together, all of his MMA tools together, whether it be his punches, whether it be his kicks. We saw even his shoulder strikes against Donald Cerrone. Maybe those can make a comeback. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see what happens with the Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. My early predictions, I'm going to go Conor, just based off of simply, I feel like he's going to get it done this time. The motivation is the biggest thing for me, man. He's the type of fighter where he needs something. He needs a chip on his shoulder. He needs to be motivated. He can't be the top dog in the limelight because he loses when he is. He loses when he is. It's just as simple as that. But early predictions, I've got Conor McGregor probably by knockout, but there'll be plenty of more 5 Minute MMA episodes to cover that between now and then. So speaking of Conor McGregor, his counterpart, Nate Diaz is fighting Leon Edwards coming up on May 25th. It's going to be at UFC 262. Now, the last time we saw Nate Diaz was when he lost a couple years ago in 2019 to Jorge Masvidal due to a doctor stoppage. Masvidal was pretty much beating up on him for most of the fight. Nate started to turn around towards the end, but it was Masvidal's fight for the most part. If you guys remember correctly, that was the fight for the BMF title. I still don't know who thought that was a good idea, but that was for the BMF title. That was the last time we saw Nate Diaz in the octagon, right? And we know that Nate Diaz, he's very prone to cuts, things like that. And Leon Edwards is a sharp striker, very, very sharp. So I've got, needless to say, I've got Leon Edwards winning that fight coming up on May 25th at UFC 262. He's just he's a much younger fighter, much fresher fighter. He doesn't have all that scar tissue built up in his face, so he gets touched one time and he's bleeding all over the place like Nate Diaz. I feel like it could be a long night. It could be a very long night for Nate Diaz against Leon Edwards. I would probably call he gets stopped in the third round TKO. That's my early prediction for Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz. And last but not least, guys, we have Marvin Vettori versus Kevin Holland coming up this weekend. Now, Kevin Holland just got done fighting a couple weeks ago against Derek Brunson, where it was very much so a lackluster performance from that of Kevin Holland. In that fight, Kevin Holland, he basically, it seemed like he really wasn't taking it seriously. He was inviting wrestling against a wrestler when he's clearly not one. And he just didn't take advantage of all the opportunities that he could have, and you could tell that he really wants to bounce back from that. You could see it in all the interviews afterwards. He was very disappointed in himself, and he wants to get that one back. So he gets the opportunity this week going up against Marvin Vettori. In my personal opinion, because Marvin Vettori's been on a tear. I really want to pick Marvin Vettori to win this fight, but I have faith in my boy Trailblazer, aka Big Mouth, aka Kevin Holland. I've got him getting the job done. I think he gets Marvin Vettori out of there, maybe the first or second round. You know, I feel he comes back with a vengeance. He has great hands. The kid has great hands. He just has to figure out when, I don't want to say when to use him, but just how to control distance. Because his biggest problem in the Derek Brunson fight is that he was clipping Derek Brunson. He had the clear advantage on the feet, but he would overextend, fall into grappling exchanges unnecessarily, and you know, he wasn't able to really get his game plan off the way that he wanted to. So we'll see what happens, but I'm gonna go with Kevin Holland. That's my boy. But that's going to wrap up this episode of 5 Minute MMA. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be a lot more content coming out, not only with UFC MMA talk, but you guys know me and Alex do the live stream every Monday and Thursday talking Ravens football, NFL football, Mondays and Thursdays at 9. You can find it right here on the Purple Rain podcast channel. So you're going to want to make sure you are subscribed. But that's going to be it for me. It's your boy Sutton Def. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Call God.